What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Chasing Zion 100. We got that sub 130 half marathon. If you didn't see it, I did post on the page, the community page, that I did get that result. And I'm so excited to kind of break this race down for y'all. I got a couple clips while I was in Austin just with the crew, but I want to walk you through the whole weekend because it was honestly such an incredible weekend. And I'm really, honestly, at the end of the day, very proud of my result and excited to see what we can do moving forward, potentially with some other road races. So stoked about it. When you are watching this video, we are 11 weeks out from Zion 100, which means that we are less than 3 months out, which blows my mind. I'm a little bit nervous, but more importantly, when you're watching this, we are 2 weeks out from my first ever road marathon, which is the Mesa Marathon. So before we get into the Mesa Marathon, let's walk through the weekend that we had in Austin, Texas. So we flew in on Friday evening. I didn't get in until the sun was basically down. We are parked, waiting for the shuttle to come. It is freezing outside, but the funniest thing is it is just as cold in Austin as it is here. So let's catch this flight to Austin. Let's go. Saturday was the expo, and then Sunday was the race. On Friday night, Tony picked me up from the airport in the BPN GMC, which is iconic. I feel like every time I get into that vehicle, I'm just like, this is where it's at. It's awesome. So got picked up by the BPN vehicle, got back to the Airbnb, and this is where everyone was staying. We are officially in Austin. I am staying at an Airbnb with a couple of the guys that we have who are racing on Sunday, and tomorrow is the expo. So I'm going to take you guys through the expo as much as I can tomorrow. BPN has a booth set up. I'm really excited. I'm hoping that we kind of can chill tomorrow as much as we can to stay off of our feet, but I have a feeling that we're going to have kind of a full day. So it's pretty late here. It is almost 11. I'm going to get ready for bed, kind of zen out a little bit, shut the brain down, and get some good sleep because tomorrow is one day out. I'm so excited. The crew that was racing the Austin International Half Marathon was Eric Floberg, Nico Felice, Luke Hopkins, and Ian Fons. These are the 4 guys that I raced with that are BPN athletes. And then Nick also raced the race, so Nick Bear, and Trey Freeman, and a couple other BPN employees as well. So it was an awesome crew on race day, but the 5 of us stayed at the Airbnb from Friday until Sunday evening. On Saturday, we woke up relatively early. We had breakfast at a spot in Austin in downtown, and then we went to the expo. And if you were in Austin for the expo, the BPN booth was by far the coolest booth. It was almost like a newsstand vibe. There was flyers that were introducing the RTD, so the ready to drink G1M. What are you doing?
So we got these vintage newspapers, beautifully crafted, but yeah, this is probably the sickest booth ever. Like if you look around, all these other booths kind of suck. It's crazy, and this one is amazing. So
that was really cool. I feel like in general the vibe was awesome, and we actually got to work the booth a little bit. So we are outside of the BPN booth that is here for the Austin International Half. Sick setup. We have the G1M RTDs in newspaper form, which is incredible. We've got Luke, we have Hope, Tony, G1M, Sir Fons, break in case of emergency, potentially. Sick setup. Definitely the best looking booth at the expo. So selling gels, electrolytes, Go bars, and other products, which is really fun. And I got to meet some of you. So if you came up to me this weekend and said hi, thank you so much. If you didn't come up because you were too nervous, which I did overhear a couple of people do that, don't ever be nervous to talk to me. I feel like I get more excited to meet you guys than you guys get excited to meet me. So in reality, I'm always happy to meet you guys. So please come up if you ever see me in person. But it was so fun. honestly, a really great event. We definitely were on our feet a little bit too long for my preference. We were there for like 4 hours, but we loved hanging out with y'all. So for those who stopped by the booth, thank you for stopping by. And of course, it was so incredible to meet you guys. After the expo, we went to Goodwill, which is like a funny errand to be running, but we got throwaways. So if you've ever raced a road marathon, this is what's different between trail and road, is they have opportunities for you to like toss your overlayers. So a lot of people will go to Goodwill, or they'll just put on things that they're ready to donate to keep them warm at the start line. Because for example, if you show up 30 minutes before and it's super cold outside, you want to have throwaways available. So we went and we got throwaways, and it was kind of funny because I feel like we all picked like kind of ridiculous throwaways, but it ended up being super fun. We picked out our throwaways because we found out that race day morning was going to be 28 degrees. And for us in Utah, right, we've been running in 20-degree weather, so it wasn't that cold for me, honestly. But with the wind chill, it was feels like 14 degrees. So it was really cold in the morning there. And a lot of the Austinites were really struggling because they're not used to the cold like that. So we wanted to make sure that we had our throwaways ready for the morning. My carb up strategy for this race was very similar to a bunch of other races that I've done. I always do some type of white rice and some type of meat. So we did steak and we did rice, and honestly, it was the perfect combination. I try not to, and this is also something that I tell my athletes as well, is try not to pick things that have excess fat or that are super fibery. You want to make sure that you're kind of sticking to the basics when it comes to a carb up. The last thing that we want on race day is a GI issue. That is what I did for carb up, and we went to bed because we had to wake up super duper early. We actually left the Airbnb at 5:30 in the morning to get to the start line at 6. We had a 7:30 start, but the BPN team had a VIP spot, so we needed to make sure that we got to the spot early. And this brings us to the next point, which I think is important to also mention when it comes to this race. This was a workout day for me. This was not a dedicated race. And the reason why I haven't told you guys about this is because I wanted to wait a little bit to announce that we are running the Mesa Marathon. So Jeff Cunningham, who is my coach, programmed this race as a workout for me. So we had no taper going into this race. We had a 70-mile week for the week. So we didn't do any sort of prep or anything specific to this half marathon. We just incorporated it throughout the week as a workout for the week. 2 miles to warm up, which was incredible. Honestly, this was the best thing that we could have done on a cold, cold day. But we did a 2-mile warm up so that way we were ready to go on the start line at 7:30. In addition to the 2-mile warm up, at the end of the race, we actually went to Lady Bird Lake and got 5 extra miles. And when I say we, I mean me and Nico, and actually Eric joined us for this as well, but Nico Felice is also racing the Mesa Marathon, so we were able to do this together. So we had 20 miles on the day total with the race in between. So kind of a funny thing. I don't know if that's unique to this situation because and we're 3 weeks out on race day, 2 weeks out now. But that was really interesting. I've never done something like that before where the race was incorporated as a workout. So the race itself went incredible. I actually got a result that was faster than I originally intended and faster than what Jeff intended for me as well. He originally programmed this workout to start the race with 5 miles at 6:50 pace, and then the following 5 miles to be around 6:40, 6:45, and then the last 3 miles kind of like let it rip, leave it all out on the course. And I noticed right away that I felt significantly better than I thought I would coming into this race. With no taper, I didn't realize that I would be capable of achieving this type of pace for so long, but we ended the Austin International Half Marathon with an average pace of 6:43 and a result of a 1:27:58. So right under the 1:28 mark, which is incredible. I have never thought that I'd be capable of achieving such a thing. And honestly, I actually paused my watch really late after crossing the finish line and saw that my result was 1:28:01. And I was kind of bummed. I was like, man, I only missed it by 1 second or 2 seconds to be under the 1:28 mark, but the official time was under 1:28. So very proud of that result. I'll throw in a couple photos for you guys that BPN got for me on course, but I do know that running at that pace, I can't get clips for you guys because it's too fast for me. Maybe one day I'll be elite enough to get clips for you guys when I'm running at that pace. But that was the result of the Austin International Half and the goal that I announced to you guys a couple weeks ago of chasing a sub 1:30 half marathon. That has now been checked off the list. What a way to start 2025 with crushing that goal. I'm so proud of that. Incredible. Looking at my splits here on Garmin, this isn't going to be super accurate because I ended up running an extra 0.1 miles, which does happen oftentimes at these races, either due to marking being inaccurate on the course and or me weaving in and out of people. So definitely the latter could be possible, but I ended up with, it says here on Garmin, 13.2 miles at 1:28:02 is what my final time on my Garmin says, and my average pace here on Garmin says 6:40. So just so you know that these might be a tiny bit off, but all in all, they'll be kind of right around where I ended the race at. So my first mile was 6:42, second mile was 6:45, third mile 6:42, 6:45, 6:44, 6:47, 6:36, 6:40, 6:43, 6:44, 6:40, 6:37, 6:27. And then the last 0.13 miles were at a 5:38 pace. So I did end faster than I started, which was the goal for this race. I feel like I executed relatively well. Obviously that 6:36 in there, that was at mile 6. So we might've had a really solid downhill at that point. But I did notice myself trying to reel myself in if I found myself under the 6:40 mark. All in all, very happy with the execution of that race, and obviously very happy with the result of that. Now let's talk Mesa Marathon. So you guys just found out about this last week. I've known about it for a couple of weeks now. And once again, reiterating that this is not an A race for me. Zion 100 is gonna be my A race, but this is a really cool opportunity for me to test my strength in speed for long distances. So I've done road marathons in Ironmans. I've done trail marathons. I've done, obviously you guys know, tons of training runs above 26.2 miles, but I'm really excited to test myself out and actually see what I'm capable of in this prep for an ultra, doing a road marathon. I'm interested to see what we can do. And after this half, I've definitely built a little bit more confidence at these faster speeds. And working with Jeff Cunningham, if you don't know who Jeff is, he's incredible, a great coach for road marathons, and marathon is his sport. So I'm excited to see what he can accomplish within me, I guess, or what I can accomplish with him as my coach. I don't necessarily have a set goal for this because this will be my first. I want to definitely give my all. And once again, kind of reiterating a vision that I have for myself in 2025, I want to leave nothing for the next life. So I want to accomplish this and know that I gave my best on race day and my best effort. So going sub 3:10 would be incredible in my book, but we will see what we are capable of. We're not going for sub 3 yet. Maybe that'll be something that we train for and prep for in the future, but not quite there yet, and I am not afraid to admit that. That'll come at some point in my lifetime, but not quite yet. But I'm excited to race the Mesa Marathon and take you guys along in just 2 weeks. And a couple strategy things that I want to take away from this half marathon are fueling. I think we did a stellar job of fueling. I stuck with my 1 gel every 30 minutes. I prepped for the race with 2 scoops of G1M and 1 Go bar. And then right before the start line of the Austin International Half, I took a caffeinated Go gel. So I want to continue doing that. I think that worked really well for me at the half. So I will do the same thing at the Mesa Marathon. And once again, sticking to the plan of being more conservative in the first couple of miles, because a 26.2, that's a long race. That's a lot of time for things to go wrong. And I want to make sure that we execute it as best as possible. So that is the plan for the Mesa Marathon in 2 weeks. So let's talk gear that I wore for the Austin International Half and how I dressed for cold weather. So it was 28 degrees with a wind chill that made it feel like 14 degrees. Actually, next week here in Utah, it is gonna be single digits. It's gonna be 4 degrees. So we'll talk through some things that I would wear on a colder day like that, that I didn't wear at the Austin International Half, but I've gotten so many questions about what I wear when it's cold, when it's snowy, etc. So I figured this would be a good time to talk about it. We will start with the shoes. So what I wore for the Austin International Half Marathon were the New Balance Super Comp Elites. And I feel like you guys have seen me wear these many times now, but I do really like this shoe. And in general, I feel like this is a really great racer if you're looking for something that benefits a midfoot striker to a forefoot striker that is comfortable as soon as you take it out of the box. Very reliable, very stable, but really well cushioned shoe. I absolutely love the New Balance Super Comp Elites. These are not necessarily a cold weather gear, but this is something that I get asked all the time is what shoes I was wearing or do wear for races. And I really love the New Balance Super Comp Elite. So that's what we wore for the Austin International half. We'll see if we wear it for the Mesa. I'm still deciding, but yeah, that's what we wore for the half. Next up, we have the Jonji shorts. So you guys know in general, my rule of thumb is that I wear leggings under 20 degrees, but I wear shorts for anything over 20 degrees. So even with the wind chill, even though it felt like 14, I figured with the speed that we were incorporating on race day, I could wear shorts and be fine. And I was totally right. I would never have worn leggings if I was to do that race again with the same circumstances. I was totally fine with a pair of shorts. So I love the Jonji shorts in general because of the length. These are called the Pace shorts from Jonji, I believe. And these I think only come in women's, this specific model. One thing that I really like about them versus another brand of shorts is the fact that they don't have a seam on the bottom, and they also have these little sticky dots that really do help the shorts stay on your body a little bit better. They did end up rolling up a little bit during my race, but it wasn't too aggressive and it didn't cause chafing at all. But I think the thing that sells these for me in general are the huge pockets on the side. So for gels, I can just stick the gels in here. They won't move. I could stick my phone in here if I wanted to, and they won't move, but just two huge pockets on both sides are incredible. And in general, I feel like this Jonji short is so reliable. This is a small, but I actually wore an extra small on race day. There are a couple of gel pockets on the back. There's a drawstring at the waist, so if you want to cinch it in, you can. And just in general, I really, really like the Jonji shorts. So these are a stellar pair of shorts. I definitely recommend these for winter running, for all season running, but for winter running in general, I like to have some sort of compression short over my summer shorts where they're really flowy, etc., because it does add a little bit of warmth, but also in general, they're just a little bit more practical for the winter. So Jonji compression shorts on the bottoms for this race. And then for the sports bra for this race, I wore the Exponential sports bra. And this company is actually owned by Caitlin Miller. She's a BPN athlete. But the thing that sold me on this sports bra is the pocket in the back. And this actually allows for you to slip your phone in because it has a tab, slip your phone in really easy. And if you like to access your phone on runs, it is an easy thing to get in and out. For me, I just didn't want to wear a spy belt for this race. So I just put my phone in there and I honestly forgot about it for the entire race. So definitely like this. I will be repeating this for future races because I think that this technique for holding your phone is awesome. So I don't generally like sports bras that have a big elastic at the bottom. You guys have seen me wear a ton of low impact sports bras, but in general, this one's not too tight. And I felt like it was super comfortable for race day. So I definitely recommend this if you guys are looking for a bra that has a phone pocket. I forgot to mention socks, but you guys know that I wear CEP socks. I wear these on trail, on road all the time. These are my choice of socks just because they do have a little bit of compression, some cushioning. Really love a CEP sock. So this is what I wore on race day. A few things that I don't have on me because they're either in the wash or I can't find them are gloves, and I had a long sleeve that I just got from Amazon on top. Because it was so cold, I wanted to have one small thin layer on top, but not anything that was compressive or added too much warmth. I just found it was honestly a dupe for a Lululemon tee that I've seen, so I just grabbed that from Amazon. And then the gloves were actually ones that I was ready to throw away in case I wanted to throw them throughout the race. They were just from Target. My preference for gloves, so ones that I wouldn't have worn, are my Trailheads gloves or my Ultimate Direction gloves that you guys have seen me wear in videos before. I didn't bring those because I knew that if I wanted to toss the gloves that I would be missing those a lot. So I didn't wear those for this race, but I do recommend those for winter running if you're looking for something that is actually really practical for everyday running because of the wind shell that covers the fingers for a little extra warmth. Two other things that I wore on race day that I always get questions about are my sunglasses and my watch. So I wear the Fenix 8 for my watch. You guys know I'm a Fenix gal, Garmin Fenix gal through and through. I love a Garmin Fenix. This is what I wear for everything. Anytime I get questions about it on my Instagram, I'm wearing the Fenix 8. It's just my choice watch to have, obsessed with it, super reliable. The battery lasts forever and it's just stellar and super dependable. So love the Garmin Fenix 8. And then sunglasses, we wore the Sutros. So these are the Oakley Sutros. I also have the Sutro lights that do not have the frame at the bottom, but I love the look of these. You guys have seen me wear these in several videos. I just feel like this is my vibe. So these are definitely the glasses that you guys see me wear the most, I would say. These are the Oakley Sutros in the red prism lens with the white frame. A few recommendations or things that I've been wearing that I didn't wear on race day, but I think are good to note, are leggings. So I posted on my Instagram story that I bought some Bandit items, and I told you guys that I would give you guys an update on if I liked them or not. I have the hardest time with running leggings, specifically because I feel like in general I have a smaller waist, I have bigger thighs, so things tend to get pulled down because they're a legging. Shorts I don't have that big of an issue with, honestly, but when it's a legging, it feels like it always is falling down, and or I'm getting a lot of extra fabric in the crotch area, which saggy crotches is not something that anyone should have. And I love the John G shorts, but I do not like the John G leggings. After wearing them a couple times, they're too saggy in the crotch and I do not like them. So I actually do like these Bandit. These are the Bandit Stamina leggings, and I do actually really like these for a winter running legging. You guys have seen me wear these in a couple of videos so far, but I really like them. I think that they stay in place really, really well. And in general, I feel like they do provide really great warmth. They have some good pockets on the sides, not something that I would necessarily put my phone in and feel comfortable leaving it because they're not deep enough, but in general for gels, etc., they're awesome. And then on the back, they have a drawstring at the waist, so it does help to keep them up. And then at the back of the legging, in the inside, they actually have 4 gel pockets. So really practical for running, and this is very obviously made by a running company because they have definitely put some things into this that like regular companies that don't really do running stuff don't have as features for their legging. So I do really like the Bandit Stamina running legging for winter gear. I'm gonna quickly mention 3 running tops that I like that are long sleeves. We'll start with our lightest long sleeve, which is by Gorewear. I love this long sleeve for warmer temperatures that still are a little bit breezy and or that are longer trail days where the temperature on trail is just a little bit more varied. I like this option, and of course the color and the fit is incredible. So Gorewear option, really, really good. A little bit higher of a price tag, but I really do like the Gorewear long sleeve. Then for our midweight, I have these in so many colors. You guys saw me wear these at Leadville 100. This is an Amazon dupe for a Lululemon long sleeve called this Run Swiftly, I believe, or the Swiftly Tech long sleeve. And these are significantly less expensive. So I have a ton of colors in these. I wear extra small. They come in like every color imaginable, and they're $29, I believe. So really great option if you're looking for a mid-weight long sleeve. It has thumb holes, really incredible. I actually like the fit of this better than I like the Lululemon. So really great option if you're looking for a mid-weight long sleeve. And for the warmest option, I love a merino wool long sleeve. This is by Danish Endurance, it's just from Amazon, but I've bought smart wool options, a couple other more expensive brands as well. But in general, merino wool is gonna be a great option for your really cold days because you have the benefit of having warmth even when it's wet. So if you sweat, it'll keep you warm. If you get wet from the elements, it'll keep you warm. But merino wool in general is gonna be significantly better than a cotton or a polyester at keeping you warm in the elements. So love a merino wool option. Obviously this is not the most glamorous pick, but it's definitely one of the most practical. So love a merino wool long sleeve. The last long sleeve option that I would layer on top, so in these colder temperatures, specifically in single digits, I would definitely add a rain shell or a wind shell. So in general, having a shell option will keep your warmth inside. And I love the Gorewear, once again, another Gorewear piece that is so worth the money. I've bought so many different rain jackets over the years, specifically for mountaineering. I bought a ton of Arc'teryx, and those are really great for mountaineering and for hiking, but specifically for running, this is the best option that I found. And obviously it's crazy bright, but in general, I just love this Gorewear option. This is definitely built for runners specifically. It is meant for running, so it's not super stiff. It definitely moves with your body, which I really enjoy, and the waterproofing on this is incredible. So definitely recommend a good shell. Specifically, I love the Gorewear shell. This is not sponsored by any means. None of these products I'm sponsored to say anything about. These are just genuinely my favorite picks. 2 other things that I wear that I get asked about all the time are headbands, and specifically running headbands for the cold weather. The lighter weight option that I really like is from Smartwool. This is super lightweight, like honestly very light to the touch, not compressive at all. So you're gonna be able to put headphones under, wear sunglasses, etc., and not be uncomfortable. This is the thing that I really love about this headband. I have this in a couple of different colors, but definitely really like the Smartwool headband. Once again, on Amazon. I feel like I'll buy a ton of stuff on Amazon, but I really, really love the Smartwool option for kind of all weather above 30 degrees. So Love the Smartwool headband. And then for something a little bit thicker, I have a bunch of these. I have some from North Face. This is from Pendleton. I have some from Patagonia, but in general, I like a thicker headband as well when we start to get in the lower than 20 degrees and or if we're in the mountains. In general, having a thicker headband is gonna keep me really, really warm. I prefer headbands over beanies all day, every day because the top of my head can breathe. In general, I just feel like it's significantly more practical, and also with a ponytail, girl probs, it doesn't feel like my ponytail is consistently getting like pushed down by a beanie. So I really like a headband option, and those are my two faves. Last but not least, for some winter running gear, I always get asked about what I would wear in snowy conditions, and snow is really hard to predict, right? So in general, if you're running on trail or on road, you're gonna have a different option, and there's gonna be more preferable options. In general, for road, having yak tracks is actually gonna be more effective than anything else. But in general, I like to wear just regular road shoes on the road, and I just pick trails that have been de-iced and or I'm just really, really careful on the road. But specifically when there's fresh snow and on trail specifically, I love the Merrell Agility Peak Gore-Tex. These are unfortunately no longer available, but I get asked about these all the time. So that is what these shoes are. I really hope that they bring them back this year. So keep an eye out on their website because they might bring these back, because I do feel like they sold really well. But that is what these are. I wore these for the Grand Canyon. I wore these actually at Antelope Canyon 50 last year when I raced to keep the sand out, which was a unique option. But in general, I love this shoe. I love the cushion on it, and then the gaiter on the top absolutely just sends it over the top for me. They're incredible. I will say the lugs are very aggressive, so if you're not looking for that, these might not be a good option for you, but love the Vibram sole. In general, Merrell Agility Peak is definitely my go-to for snowy conditions. I hope those suggestions were helpful for you guys. I feel like I get asked about winter gear all the time because you guys know that I live in Utah, so I hope those answered your questions. But if you have any questions, please just leave them in the comments below and I will get back to you and hopefully provide you with some solid recommendations for your needs. And I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video with some clips from Austin as well and are excited to see me race at Mesa Marathon. I'm so excited. We will see what we do. I'm kind of nervous about that in general, but at the end of the day, we do not grow in our comfort zones. So I'm so excited to chase these goals outside of my comfort zones with you guys, and also so excited to continue training for Zion 100. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Chasing Zion 100. I will catch you guys next Monday. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Stay unbreakable.